Right now on KGW News, it was a life-changing prize.
You have won $5,000 a week forever.
Until Publishers Clearinghouse declared bankruptcy.
Like somebody just cut the cord and I'm falling.
Tonight, KGW investigates the Oregonians left scraping by after their prize money dried up. Plus,
I am incredibly proud, but I'm also terrified.
A mother watches as her Portland son sets sail to Gaza, hoping to get aid through to those who need it most. Then, yet another delay in Oregon's special session.
I definitely feel like my job is being held hostage for some political game.
Why a vote on transportation funding has been held up once more. And later, how the Swifts, who once flocked to this Portland school's chimney,
it's like they all planned out a route already or something,
appear to be a no-show. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko. We begin tonight with yet another delay in Oregon's special legislative session, with funding for road maintenance projects and hundreds of jobs now on hold for at least another 2 weeks. Alma McCarty's in the newsroom to explain why. Alma?
David, the Senate Majority Leader announced tonight a vote on the transportation funding package would be delayed until September 17th. Senators want to wait for their colleague, Democrat Chris Gorsuch, to be able to return to the Capitol to vote. Gorsuch is recovering from complications from back surgery last month. The Senate had been on track to take a vote on the plan tomorrow, but it appears without Gorsuch, Democrats may not have the votes to pass the bill. This delay follows a rough start on day one of the special session, when not enough lawmakers showed up to have a quorum in the House until late Friday night. We got a chance to hear from ODOT workers and the union tonight, frustrated by yet another delay and the fact that the vote appears to be so close.
I just think that there's there's a lot of people who could step up and make sure that there's a plan, and we're disappointed that that's not the answer.
I would like to echo the disappointment and the frustration. I definitely feel like my job is being held hostage for some political game.
Nearly 500 ODOT workers are set to lose their jobs if the bills don't pass. Governor Tina Kotek had already asked ODOT to delay those layoffs until mid-September. Now she's directed the agency to wait until October 15th if they have to make cuts. The Senate is set to reconvene 2 weeks from tomorrow to take that vote. The funding plan includes nearly $6 billion in new revenue from increased taxes and fees. David,
yeah,
back to
do
you.
they have a plan, and do they have the votes? That's critical. Thanks, Alma. Appreciate it. Let's get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now. A motorcyclist is dead after a crash in Wild Series events in the Woodlawn neighborhood. It all started around 3:45 this afternoon with a crash near Northeast 15th and Lombard. While an ambulance was transporting the injured motorcyclist, it was also involved in a crash. The motorcyclist died at the hospital. A driver in the original crash also suffered minor injuries. Well, we're learning more about one of two Oregon firefighters arrested by Border Patrol while fighting a wildfire in Washington last week. His brother says Jose Cruz Estrada is from Mexico, but was living in Independence, Oregon. He had previously been deported twice following a drug arrest. His brother says he came back to the U.S. in 2019.
Obviously, he came back, and since he's been back, I've seen him differently. I mean, the first thing he almost did was create his own business. Secondly, I can find people to attest that, I mean, he hasn't been in the same activities as before.
Jose's family is now trying to raise money to get a lawyer to Tacoma, where he is being held in an ICE facility. And the Evergreen School District has canceled school again for at least tomorrow as paraeducators, bus drivers, and other staff continue to strike. Though, in a change of heart, the union has agreed to have its members vote on the district's last and final offer. That vote is now scheduled for Thursday. If members reject the contract as the union recommends, the union says they'll continue to strike until the district addresses their core concerns. All right, let's take you outside on this Tuesday, where we saw a bit of a warm up along with some hazy skies sticking around. Matt Savino's here tracking the heat, and it sounds like maybe a chance of showers, Matt.
There's a couple down the valley right now. In Portland, though, it's just a very, very warm night, and the haze is still out there, even though we can't see it. 76 degrees right now, and if you look at the difference between that and 24 hours ago, you'll see that we're running 7, 8, 10, 11 degrees warmer compared to this time last night. So it has been quite the warm up, which makes sense because we had a warmer day today as well. Similar scene around most of the state, seeing warmer conditions. We reached 90 today in Portland. just squeaked up there late this afternoon. That makes this our 19th 90-degree day of the year, which is not a record, but it is above average. And we got one or two more left, and then I think we'll be done with 90s at least for a while, and quite possibly for the year. 90 common up and down the I-5 corridor, 101 LeGrand, 102 in the Dalles, 98 Medford, even mid-70s up on the north coast. Now, you mentioned there are some showers out there that we're tracking. Not a lot. It's mainly to our south right now, but we'll keep watching those as we go through the evening hours. And again, we'll have to update our total of 90-degree days now. So wildfire smoke drifting up from the south. You can see in Washington a little bit clearer earlier, but the clouds are headed that way too. It's quite impressive, actually, this batch of moisture that's headed our way, David. We'll show you that in a bit.
To keep an eye on here. Thanks, Matt. Well, Portland's newest overnight homeless shelter has officially opened its doors. This comes after the spot in the Pearl District faced significant neighborhood pushback, even vandalism. The low barrier shelter has just 40 beds at the moment. It's a number that should increase to 100 next month and 200 by the end of the year. Here's the president of the Northwest District Association, followed by the shelter's executive director with the Salvation Army.
And the problem isn't people camping on the street necessarily. It is the drug crisis and all the craziness that comes with the drug abuse, the drug dealing, and the way to get money to buy drugs.
When people know that they have a place to stay, a bed to come to, they are not impressed upon to show up early and to stay within the neighborhood.
Well, this is the 5th such shelter to open in the city this year. Also this week, some Portland City councilors are taking an overseas trip and on the taxpayers' dime. They are heading to Vienna, as in Austria, to study its housing model. You see, 60% of Vienna's population lives in social housing that's owned by the government or nonprofits with rents set at an affordable rate. Councilors want to consider a similar system here. Candace Avalos is one of 20 people leaving for Vienna on Friday. 20 people. Our Blair Best asked her how much the trip is costing taxpayers, though Avalos was not sure.
A lot of people don't see this as a good use of money. What do you have to say to that?
I disagree. I mean, at the end of the day, we have budgets and we have discretion over them, and I use my budget as a way to enhance my work. I see this as doing exactly that.
Well, right now, most housing in Portland is dependent on private developers. Avalos believes social housing could keep housing in Portland affordable. You can watch more from Blair's interview with Avalos on tonight's episode of The Story. It's available anytime on our free TV app, KGW+. To the Israel-Hamas war now, with a Portland man now on his way to Gaza as part of a flotilla that is drawing attention to the ongoing humanitarian crisis while trying to break Israel's blockade and deliver aid. Catherine Cook spoke to his mother this afternoon. Catherine?
David, it's been a nerve-wracking couple of days for her. Between drones flying overhead and bad weather creating rough waters, she is worried about her son. Despite that, she supports what he's doing and hopes this will be the group that finally makes it through.
I am incredibly proud of Paul.
From a park bench in Portland, Jan Levin is sending love 6,000 miles away to her son, Paul Reed.
Carry aid into people living in Gaza, and I think it's just ridiculous that we have to do this.
On Friday, Reed flew to Barcelona, then boarded a sailboat. He's joining a flotilla, an estimated 70 boats, all carrying food, medicine, and supplies headed for the Gaza Strip. Levin supports the mission and her son.
It's about opening a corridor for humanitarian aid to the people of Gaza who are being starved by Israel, starved and bombed and killed.
The so-called Global Samud Flotilla could reach Gaza in about 2 weeks.
They had a rough couple days. The seas were very rough.
It's a very terrifying experience to witness nature when it is fierce, and it was fierce last night.
This flotilla marks the 4th and biggest marine attempt this year to break the long Israeli blockade of the Palestinian territory. Climate activist Greta Thunberg is part of it. In June, she tried to reach Gaza by ship with 11 others. The Israeli military intervened and deported everyone on board.
Our plan B, if Israel once again decides to violate international law and prevent humanitarian aid from getting into Gaza, our plan B is to come back even bigger. As simple as that.
Every single one of those people on that flotilla is willing to risk their lives.
Meanwhile, the Gaza Health Ministry reports that more than 300 Palestinians have died of malnutrition, about a third of them children. Levin, who lives in Ohio, made a special trip to Portland so she could see her son before he left.
I couldn't let him leave without saying goodbye, because I don't know when I'm going to see him again, or if I'll see him.
We plan on staying in touch with Jan Levin, and we'll bring you any significant updates on Paul and the flotilla. David.
Thanks, Catherine. Appreciate your reporting there.